Before I talk about the major new features of Cubase 7.5, I'm going to show you some of the smaller operational upgrades that have been made, because you can use these with all of the other new aspects of Cubase 7.5. And the first thing I'm going to show you is my favorite feature of Cubase 7.5, called re-record mode. And to do that, I'm going to just be recording a very simple bass guitar track. So let's go under the Project pull-down menu, select Add Track, and this is going to be an audio track because I have my bass guitar plugged into my audio interface. It's going to be a mono track. I'm going to click Add Track. And I'll go ahead and just title it Bass so that I know which track I'm on. Then I'm going to record enable that track, and I have my preferences set to automatically turn on my monitor button. And then I'm going to come to the input of that track, and I'm going to assign it to my first mono input, which is the input that I have my bass guitar plugged into. So now I'll be able to hear my bass guitar. And there it is. And the next thing I'm going to do is go to the Transport pull-down menu and make sure that I have it set the way that I want for recording. So I'm going to click the Transport menu and then choose Metronome Setup. And then I'm going to make sure that I have metronome in record on, but off in play. And then instead of using the default 2 pre-count bars, I'm going to select 1. And then I'm going to click OK. That will get me clicks during the recording, but not during playback. And then I'm going to go back to the Transport menu, and I'm going to make sure that the metronome is turned on. You can see right now it's turned off. And the ever-popular keyboard shortcut method is to type C on your computer keyboard, but I'll just do it here since we're working in this menu quite a bit. Then I'm going to go back to the Transport menu and make sure that my pre-count is on. That will give me introductory clicks based on the time base of this particular song, which is in 4/4, and that will get me a little bit of time to start recording. So I'm going to turn the pre-count on. And the last thing I'm going to show you in this Transport menu is the re-record mode. When this is enabled, it does a really cool thing, and I'm going to show that to you in just a moment. Before I do, I'm going to make sure that you know that in the Transport panel, you can also change from the standard punch-in, punch-out mode to re-record mode instead. So you can also enable re-record mode here. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it on the default of punch-in and punch-out, and show you what I normally do whenever I'm recording. Because I record a lot, and I'm hitting the record button a lot, and making a lot of mistakes until I get a really good track, it means that I would have to operate in this way. So let me show you the older non-re-record method. So I'm going to click the record button, and I'm going to record a bass guitar track. And let's say I didn't like that, so I'm going to click on Stop. And then to get rid of that, I could either hit the Delete key since it's already highlighted, but what I have just programmed myself to do is if I get a take I don't want, I hit the Control or Command Z on my computer keyboard to get rid of that recording, and then I would type the number 1 key on my numeric keypad to locate me to the position of the left locator, and then I'd hit record again. So let's count those button presses that it took me to do that. Stop, undo, and then I had to type my number 1 key to locate to the left locator and then hit record again. So it's a little bit involved. I mean, it's really a simple process, but re-record mode makes this so much cooler. So I'm going to go to the Transport menu and enable re-record mode. Now what happens is if I am recording and I know I have flubbed it and I'm not going to use that take, I can just hit the record button again. And what it will do is remove that flub from the project window, automatically locate back to the position of the left locator, and if you have your pre-count turned on, it will give you that pre-count on the metronome, and then it will start recording. So instead of having to hit stop, undo, locate, and record again, all you do is hit record again. So let's see how this works. So let's hit record again. So I'm going to hit asterisk on my numeric keypad, which is the record button. So let's say that that's a flub. I'm just going to hit the record button again. Okay, so flub that one again, hit the record button again. And then hit stop, and you'll see that that was the fourth take, and those other takes that I knew I would never ever use again are no longer part of the project window. So that keeps all of those bad takes out of your comping lanes and out of your hair, because if you know you're not going to use them, why have them occupying space? That re-record mode kicks them out of there when you know you don't want to use them. Now, one thing to realize is that if you accidentally hit the re-record button during a good take, then you don't have to worry about losing that information, because if you're recording onto an audio track, then those takes are still retained inside of the audio pool. So I'm going to hit Control or Command P to take me to the pool itself, and you'll see that in the audio folder, I still have bass take number 4. But in the trash, all of those initial takes have been added inside the trash. So if you did want to reuse those takes again, you could simply drag them out of the trash folder, and then you could simply drag that file from the audio folder in the pool back into your Cubase project. So I'm guessing that if you're like me and you record a lot and you make mistakes, you don't have to admit it, but I will. I think you'll find that the re-record mode is a real time saver, and it will also give you the fringe benefit of keeping all of those additional flubbed takes out of your comping lanes. And next, I'm going to show you the new setup windows.